Hello, hello, and good afternoon or good morning, wherever you're at. Um, I'm High Priestess. Let me just turn up my volume just a little bit. Feeling like a slow morning. Today I have a few topics I kind of wanted to go through. One of them is sharing a little nice imagery from this Medicine Woman tarot deck that I have. It's very, very lovely. It's I'll share it right here, by Carol Bridges. It's a great way, especially for my ladies out there, a way to tap into your feminine healing side. And if you are like me, someone who wants to bring a little more healing into the world and share your gift, this is an amazing, amazing deck to utilize and really reflect on. So, highly, highly recommend. And yeah, I haven't been on in the last couple of weeks. Actually, was a little sick. I had some travel in there, but now I'm back and just wanted to share with you guys some new things. So let's see. What do we have in store for today? Yes, so a couple things with the Medicine Woman deck. Sharing, I guess, some imagery that could be really interesting to really hone in, especially during this retrograde. We also had a full moon yesterday in Aquarius. Did you feel that? That was pretty intense, but in a good way. I mean, Aquarians typically are very, let's just say introspective, very smart, can be very emotional. And with the moon, it was definitely emotional. Aquarians also are very tapped into technology, so maybe you spent a little time. Actually, I would say you'd probably want the opposite during full moon. You want to disconnect. So maybe there was some struggle there. And with all the technology we have today, it's probably a little challenging to disconnect because that's right, it's always around. I also, I kind of didn't have a full format today. I wanted to share some cool little nifty things that I have, and maybe it'll guide us in our session today. This here is a yes or no coin. I love to use this. It was gifted to me from a friend. As you can see here, there's a sun on one side and a moon on the other. I love using this to ask yes or no questions because if you're familiar with tarot, we typically don't ask yes or no questions, but we will use this. Maybe this will guide what type of readings we do today. So yeah, that is the first, I guess, or second thing. But I did definitely want to share a little bit about this Medicine Woman Inner Guide book. There's really amazing intro things in here. I love it so much. It is a deck I'm not 100% so familiar with yet. I typically work with a Rider-Waite deck, and so we'll maybe do a hybrid kind of thing today, but I'll use that yes or no coin to let the universe kind of guide what this session will be like today. So let's kind of get started on these shared images. I wanted to kind of go through in the Medicine Woman Inner Guide book. So this first one, which for those tuning in from TikTok, this might be a little hard to see, but this is kind of just a reminder that we're all connected. I love this this image because it really shows us, that we're all connected in some shape or form, and we are guided by, let's just say, these light beings or our guides. I love this connection to the goddess. Let's just say God is us. Not sure if anyone has any deities or, guides that they typically pray to, but I think ultimately the way to kind of move in the world is to remember that we have some form of God within us, and we can show the love to the world. So this is a really amazing image here that I like to look back into. So if you kind of walk this through, oh yes, happy Mars Day. I'm glad to be back. I know it's been a little bit of time, so thank you so much for joining. Yeah, so if we walk through this, hopefully you can see this image clearly, but in the little center is you and me. That's us humans. Then right outside of it is beliefs, memories, feelings, thoughts, attitudes, and desires. And then outside of that is we have guides. We do have guides. I hope you guys have found some guidance from your guides. I love to spend time in the morning meditating and just talking to my guides. Show me. And when I feel really lost, ask for a sign. And the signs will come if you are open to it. So it's really, really lovely. Especially now in this time where we are in a Mercury retrograde. So things could feel very heavy. Things could feel, we're going, let's just say, we're not going backwards in time, but our mind and communication can feel very backwards. For me, I've definitely been having a lot of dreams with people from the past, and it's kind of almost very interesting lessons learned from these significant characters in my past. So it's been really interesting to kind of tap into my dreams and see how this period of time is impacting my subconscious thoughts. So very fascinating stuff. But yeah, aside from the guides, there are archetypes. That's generally what tarot decks kind of bring out. It's like these primary archetypes or themes that happen in our life. And we all kind of have very, very similar dreams. Not dreams, I'm so sorry. I'm reading the chat at the same time. We all have similar archetypes and themes that happen to all of us. So that's why tarot is such an amazing, amazing reflection tool to be used. Outside the archetypes, we have planets that rule us. So you think of astrology. So again, right now we're Mercury in retrograde. I believe the planet the sign that it's retrograde in is in Virgo, which is very interesting because both Virgos and Geminis are ruled by Mercury. So typically around this time, it's maybe a challenging time. And you think of Geminis and Virgos. Very big. I'd say they're very different, but Geminis are very adventurous. If I think of any Gemini in my life, my friends who are big, they're always on the go. Whether it's traveling, whether it's seeing friends, they're very social beings. And Virgos are, in a sense, really big go-getters. Even though they're grounded in their earth signs, I think they're a little more direct and very, they also can be somewhat social. I kind of see Virgos to be a little more, you think of Sagittarius and how they're so knowledgeable. I see Virgos to be just as knowledgeable, very intelligent, but also very deep and in-depth. Anyway, enough about those signs. It's really just to say that they get very impacted by Mercury in retrograde, and the fact that Mercury is in Virgo, is in retrograde, can be very challenging for all my Virgo friends. And now I'm thinking about my Virgo friends. I want to maybe reach out and see if they need anything. Yes. Back and in terms of the dream state, sorry, I'm going back to chat here. Yeah, I had less to no dreams as well. I actually, there was a really long period of time in my life where I smoked a lot of cannabis. I loved how it made me feel and relaxed. I used to have a very anxious mind, and I still kind of do, but I have other practices that kind of help me. But that was primarily, I think, the reason why I didn't have many dreams or I couldn't remember them. But, I've been doing a lot of dream recall, so I don't really partake in that anymore. I do, this could be a good period of time, especially if you tend to get more dreams now and get downloads in your dreams, to kind of take a little bit of Blue Lotus before, like Blue Lotus tea or mugwort. Mugwort can sometimes be a little intense for some people. I know that I've had some really interesting interactions with, let's just say, other beings. So mugwort is something to be used delicately if you're very sensitive to other energies. And thank you. I actually, for once, got my nails done because I I had like a big family and event this past weekend. It was actually my grandparents' 70th anniversary. So really, really big one. And it was a lovely time, but I am very happy to be back. Yes. I'm curious in terms of, I'm just going to pin this. Let's see how this works. Does it work? Okay. I'm trying to pin your chat. But anyway, in terms of mugwort, I'm curious, do you have a specific form that you take it in? I know the time that I was at some like market. It was kind of like a witchy market, and somebody was selling this little mugwort balm. And so I kind of put it, there were moments where I would put it around, I guess, either my third eye or just around my temples here. And that was probably the most crazy experience that I've had with mugwort, and I got a little scared. So, but now I drink it as tea. It's also great for all my ladies out there, in terms of menstruation. I, just had my period. Sorry if it's TMI, but also not sorry. It's very helpful. Mugwort plus red raspberry leaf tea. Those two together, amazing. Oh, wow, in a sauna. Okay, so you're really about self-care, just like me. I'll definitely try. I would love to try that. That sounds really lovely. Um, yeah, so back to this image right here, just, it's interesting because we are this one cosmic energy pattern. We are all connected, and I think sometimes we tend to, at least I do, I think everyone might, but get in their own, you know, in their own like little bubble, kind of go around life like um, doing your own thing, but the overall energy of the world does collectively have an impact on us, and the planets definitely have an impact. It's very clear in this image that the planets kind of rule a lot of things that happen around us, and we are kind of just um, the, I guess, product of that. Something really fascinating that I'll share just really quickly. I actually just had a Vedic astrology reading last week. If you're not so familiar with Vedic or Jyotish astrology, it is the most ancient astrology. I think we typically are very used to Western astrology. I mean, I am, and I'm just starting to learn more about the Jyotish Vedic astrology, which stems from Ayurveda, and Hindu, and it's very, very fascinating. It's also deemed to be the most accurate. So if you're looking for a very accurate reading about your future, this is it. It also is more focused on your rising sign. And for me, in Western astrology, my rising sign is Sagittarius, but because of where I'm an early Sagittarius in Western astrology. In Vedic astrology, I'm actually Scorpio, which, you know, is interesting because, again, in in Western astrology, I have 4 placements in Scorpio. In Jyotish or Vedic, I actually am a Libra, which I never thought to be. I never thought that that would be, you know, something I could totally relate to. But again, Vedic astrology is very stemmed to your rising sign, so everything within my reading was very much aligned with Scorpio, which I align so much to. We are very intense beings, but also intuitive. So another reason why I really am obsessed with tarot. So aside from this, I loved the reading because, you know, she really took me through how the planets, as we know, if you're into astrology, how the planets really have this pull on us. And if you're familiar, every planet, actually, this is something that's pretty new to me, but if you might be familiar with this already, every planet is tied to a metal or a mineral. And so something I've been focused on recently is very focused on my health, understanding my mineral balance and nutrition. So interestingly enough, I'll just give you a quick excerpt here, but I'm going through a very challenging time. Saturn over my moon. Saturn loves for us to see us suffer. So, and Saturn is also related to iron. So, I may be very low in iron, which I am, after being on many different medications. So, yes, that is something that is very interesting. And I'm actually looking into getting something called a Shani ring. This can help deter Saturn's, you know, Saturnic energy, very challenging, suffering energy. So yeah, maybe I'll stop there on that. So another thing I want to share from this lovely deck, sorry, like, can I see it? Is this other image called The Path. Like, do you ever feel like, I hope you can see this image, by the way. Do you ever feel like you are unsure of your path? You kind of walk this, you know, we all walk this path and think we know what we want, and then suddenly we get there and maybe it's not exactly what we want. So I love this because this path really shows like where you begin, and you begin in these moments of happiness. You're excited for this new thing. Then you get to this point of, you know, maybe reflection. Oh, this is where I'm going. And then you kind of keep going. You have these contemplations, or like, what am I doing? And then you get over that. And then you look back and you're like, okay, I can do this. You keep going. And basically this whole thing shows you that there's a lot of ups and downs. So your path is not linear. And once you're done at the Temple of Celebration, which is the final peak point there, as you can see, you're back down into the start of it all over again. So, you know, life is really full of ebbs and flows. And yeah, today I think we can maybe take a look at, let's see, I'm curious if we should do kind of a past, present, future reading. I know it's a pretty simple one, but I think it's also kind of an interesting one, given that we are in this retrograde, and maybe it's a really good time to reflect on some things from the past, where we are now, and in the future. But in the meantime, okay, I had this coin out earlier. This coin is a yes or no, I guess you would say, from the universe. So really, I want to ask, should we do a quick pull from the Medicine Woman deck? I know we did one maybe for the Lionsgate was that last week, 2 weeks ago? I forget when the Lionsgate was, on the 8th. Right, it was a couple weeks ago, and that was a really quick stream for me. But maybe for those who weren't there, we can kind of do that. So let's see. I'll say yes is the sun right here, and no is the moon. What should we do? Okay. Let me pull this so you guys can see. Right here, I have this coin. Should we do a quick pull from the Medicine Woman deck? Oh, okay. I landed on no. So maybe not today. Which is fine, because you know we have the past, present, future pull, which is could take a little bit of time. And yeah, let's dive back into it. Oh, thank you. Yes, it was a gift from a friend to me, and I like to use it especially because, you know, in tarot we don't normally, or I don't normally ask yes or no questions in tarot. It's really more of open, you know, how can I do this? What should I know about this? Whereas the coin is straight shot, and, you know, I'll always believe that wherever it leads me is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So, oh, iron burrow bananas. Okay, I'll definitely have to look into that. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so the Rider-Waite tarot deck, again, the most, you know, common. I think, to me, I mean, there's a lot of tarot decks out there that I love. Again, this Medicine Woman one is beautiful, and maybe the next stream will definitely do that. But for today, we can do a past, present, future pull. Let's see. I mean, I've been very interested in my path. Whether it's my career path, can my interests at some point become a career for me? I don't know. That's a pretty challenging one, because, you know, more often than not, it's pretty hard to really do that. But people are out there doing their hobbies and making money off of it. That's pretty awesome. So I'm hoping someday, I mean, I don't know that I even want to make money off of my hobbies. I think sometimes money can change, you know, your relationship to something, and maybe it'll zap the creativity out of something that you once found to be creative. So what I really want to do is understand, can I continue to help people learn more about themselves through this craft, whether it's tarot, whether it's maybe something else, this health journey that I've been on. I think there's some really interesting things there. But yeah, I think anything's an open door to make money, but I also am like, I don't know that I who knows? Let's see. But either way, I'd love to kind of just think about my career in the next few years or so. Especially, let's say, okay, I had this Vedic astrology reading, and it was mentioned to me that when Saturn finally reaches a position of where it's supposed to be, I will finally have more clarity as to what I want to be doing, maybe have multiple sources of income, which is really interesting to me, because I always thought that I was going to just work this corporate, you know, ladder and stay there. So I find it to be really interesting, and let's see what the reading has for me today. So in terms of career, what can I make of this situation? here. All right. Whoops. Oh. Interesting here. Oh man, a lot of reverse cards. All right. Past. So first, let's look at the upright position. Past is a Two of Pentacles reverse. You see this, let's just say, kind of silly person here juggling two coins. It seems like they are very and two is just like the start of a journey. So they are very, I guess, focused, but also it looks like they're a little entangled. You do see an infinity here, which represents, again, abundant or infinite opportunities, which is really awesome. But then it's reversed. But it also, because this person kind of looks like a jokester, they're kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm trying my best. And as a reverse, it's like probably even more complicated for yourself. Really getting into, it's more, I'd say, getting really into my head about not knowing what I'm doing. And that resonates a lot because I sometimes find, or I have these thoughts where I'm like, I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. Am I doing this right? Am I actually, what is going on here? And I actually had this moment recently, and let me just share this anecdote. Out of my friends, I am kind of the person that typically does, friends readings. And I had this moment recently where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, which is interesting because here I am on this stream talking about tarot. But I was really in my head about it. And I think also I was just very, very disconnected in the moment, I didn't know how to be like, I actually don't feel like pulling cards today. But I did it and it felt really off because I wasn't connected to it. Anyway, it goes to show that I am very in my head. But I've been studying this stuff for a long time, or it feels like it. So I want to be more confident. So I think that is a very interesting thing to just notice here is like, oh, I really get in my head. I don't know what I'm doing. But really, I probably do. And I sometimes have these thoughts like, does anybody know what they're doing? I guess in this life, in the grander scheme of things, it's like we kind of just ebb and flow through everything. So this next card, present. Okay, the nine of sorry, I'm trying to get it in here. The Nine of Swords, but reversed. So this is a challenging, obviously you see this person really upset. They're really upset, and they're, swords typically represent power, intellect, again, related to the air sign, or air element. And wow, I see this as just being, and also, let's just say, 9 is before the end. So this is probably a moment of like, oh shit, it's been really hard, but what a crazy journey it's been to really tap into my power, tap into what I need to grow. And as a reverse, I'm unable to do that. I'm actually pretty, like, this card is just so interesting to me because you kind of see these things like, okay, this kind of looks like a negative card, which, by the way, there's no such thing as a negative card. But when you go reverse, it's like, oh, there's some type of blockage there. There's some type of, or you can maybe even see this as something positive, right? That, oh, this, you're actually able to tap in a little more because you have had this emotional moment to say, I really worked hard for this. So I kind of see that actually as that. It's a moment to actually have this recognition that, you know, even though there's been some really challenging times, it's actually a moment to wake up and really, you know, move past that. I do find that this time is a time that I'm waking up. I don't know if it maybe even before the Vedic astrology reading. I've been on this, I don't want to say bender, but kind of tapping into spiritual resources. So I had something recently called an illumination session with a shaman who helped move some energy, some really stagnant negative energy, and I feel a lot lighter. If you are interested in learning more about that, definitely let me know. There's some really, amazing healers out in the world. So if you feel really stuck or need a little help, I think, you know, one, it does come from inside, but I think having the help of others and healers is an amazing privilege that we have here. So yes, I think I kind of see this, I do, or not even kind of, I do see this as more of a positive moving forward, and recognizing how much, you know, how much effort this journey's been, but seeing that, you know, it'll come. And lastly, so this is an interesting one. This is the 8. I'm like, can I count? The 8 of Cups. As you can see, this person is walking through on a journey. You know, again, 8 is someone going through it, and it's really to say that the journey's not over. But I think in terms of cups, you know, we see this as relationship, whether it's to self, whether it's to others, whether it's creative endeavors. So I think it does look like, even though the journey's not over, we are approaching, you know, something creative, something exciting. That's really exciting for me because I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling it. Oh wow, you're also a spirit shaman. That's really interesting. I'd love to. I assume, you know, I've seen you quite a bit on this stream. Do you also? Am I saying this right? Zara. Do you also have a Twitch channel? I would love to come support. You probably have some interesting insight to share. That would be really awesome to kind of see that. Cool, thank you. Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you a follow just so I can see then when you do decide to stream, because I would love to see what information. I love just sharing resources. That is like the primary thing I love doing here. So yeah, I'd love to check you out sometime. I will definitely. And so, okay, back to this reading. I think in what it really is recognizing how hard I've been on myself and knowing that this is a moment of of really letting that go and moving forward and tapping into power, tapping in, and just being confident with the things that I do. I know that this work really lights up my world, and that I want to continue to help people in any way that I can. And maybe that the opportunity, even though it could be a long way from here, looks really exciting and creative, and it could involve a lot of other people. I mean, I am a community person. I love gathering people, so I'm really excited for the next chapter. Anyway, yes, thank you so much, Zara. I appreciate you coming to join me once again. I will be here again on. I know I haven't totally dedicated a day, but Tuesday afternoons typically are the best. So I will try my best to do it again next Tuesday afternoon. And I'll see you then. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Have a great week.